All right, so what to expect for this week crypto market outlook? And of course, we can see that the coin is still around 64, right? Around 64, 66K range. And we've seen that August tends to have a local peak as well, moving forward. And with the Clarity Act, it's looking set to delay again. But nonetheless, we can see a Bitcoin selling pressure closer to exhaustion. And of course, most likely, we might also see a bottom coming in very, very soon. Right? We are already going to approach October. So there will be another 2 more months. Okay, so after 4 USDT market cap drop, okay, so no matter how bad the news is, no matter what sort of liquidation, you can see that the BTC and the crypto market did not even tank that significant as of now. So probably everything is being absorbed so drastically for the bears are getting even more exhausted. Okay, so we can see that the bottom most likely to be forming very, very soon. Okay, and then look at the setup, of course, the sentiment as well. Okay, how long are we going to stay on the extreme fear levels? Okay, so Tether's 60-day rolling market cap contraction stays near 4B. One of its heaviest drawdown. And then analysts suggest that the worst of the bear market selling pressure could be over as a result, which I believe so. Or probably we should expect one more last drop or one more final calculation to fulfill the 4-year cycle, to fulfill the condition on the past historical data, which is the FTX, which is the Celsius collapse. All right, so maybe we might have one more. And then comparison to the 2022 bear market highlights of ongoing RSI divergence as well. Okay, so we look at the USDT market cap or the drawdown as well. Again, of course, the USDT market cap and the USDT dominance. You can see that the USDT dominance is slowly creating a higher high and higher lows and slowly starting to break to a new high. Okay, but of course, nonetheless, you can see Bitcoin is still there. Bitcoin is still remaining very strongly on the critical support, right? So yeah, the deterioration has also accelerated at the margin. Nearly 870 million of USDT supply disappeared over the latest 11-day period, showing that the contraction is not really a legacy effect from early redemptions. Okay, all right. So periods of sustained USDT expansion have generally coincided with stronger price of Bitcoin regimes, while prolonged contractions have accompanied weaker demands, deeper corrections, and deteriorating market conditions. Okay, so yeah, maybe we can see what is happening right now. So no matter what happening with the USDT situation, Bitcoin is still maintaining that. Okay, all right, and then we look at the weekly RSI divergence echoes 2022 reversal as well. So the findings add to the mounting body of evidence that suggests that the current bear market in its final stage, coming to an end for the bear market. So we peaked last year October. So fast forward till now, we're already at August. So another 2 more months to mark the first anniversary of the bear market. Okay, and then of course, you can see here. Okay, so consensus among market participants increasingly favors a new Bitcoin macro bottom, forming before the end of 2026. Okay, so both comparison to previous bear market and on-chain indicators. Okay, however, the downturn continues to be short. All right, so yeah, I think probably we can see the bottom slowly starting to form. So the only thing is, are we going to get the long ranging consolidation period? It could last for weeks to months or even a year. Okay, so once it can be able to form something like this, right? This was the last 2022 level, price dump, and then we create a descending channel, something like a divergence. Okay, probably maybe we will see. Okay, or maybe it's accumulating something like that. And then finally we break. So should we see something like that? Okay, that could mark a reversal. Okay, or even the end of the 2022 bear market. So all eyes on this one as well. We're going to see how August is going to work. Whether they continue to break the 70K resistance, right? Continue to be there, or we should see one more last capitulation, probably below 50K. And I think that could be marked the bottom. Okay, and then you start to dollar cost average for your position you're going to buy. And then, of course, moving on next, talk about, okay, the share market, US market for Bitcoin exposure by MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Robinhood. We can see all those stocks are slowly starting to break away, okay, from the sentiment, from the current sentiment of the US market as well. So, yeah, I think you can see Bitcoin showing signs of breaking its close relationship with US stocks. So you can see like the US market is going up, but crypto is not following, right? It's reversing, right? Okay, so now it's actually decoupling, maybe for short term. Then we look at BlackRock's head of digital asset, Robert. Again, said investor sentiment toward Bitcoin has changed noticeably over the past month. The price behavior increasingly diverged from equities. So we're going to see how is the gameplay is going to change later on. Will the retail come back after this? That's the most important thing. And then when stocks ran, Bitcoin frequently rose with them. So when investors abandon risky assets, work will fall together. So now all eyes on S&P 500. The S&P 500 will hit down again. It will punch down. Then most likely Bitcoin also will follow soon. Yeah, okay. Okay. And then of course here Bitcoin began separating from equities earlier this year. Okay. That worked against the crypto because AI related stock were climbing while Bitcoin. So now we can see that AI have already peaked. And the stocks have already peaked. So we can see the money rotation slowly starts to transition from one sector to another sector. So we have the equities, we have AI related stocks. Then what's next? Maybe crypto related stocks we are moving into. So that's why you can see the momentum is shifting here and there. And then relationship became more interesting during July's AI-led stock market pullback. And then Bitcoin performed considerably better than equities through that. Okay. So this is the thing, money rotation, money transition, okay, the money flows, all right? And then, of course, we look at ETF flows such as more investors are using lower price to increase exposure rather than lead the market, okay? So hedge funds like BlackRock, Fidelity, yeah, the one are still there to convince buyers or retail or even the public to get involved or have some exposure to crypto market, okay? So yeah, that's why you can see BlackRock dominated the buy, attracting approximately about 603.7 million as well. And then, meanwhile, Fidelity, right, 116 million. Okay, so I think probably right now the interest may not be there for crypto. Still, people are concerned. Looking at the market condition as well, stocks still running, still at the extreme peak, and of course, not to forget, cold card hardware wallet also got exploited. So I think that's where also people lose confidence in putting their money in crypto. What's more, we sell personally. Okay, so that could be the case that why people are still remaining on the sidelines or probably not all in or even risk on with crypto right now, but rather wait maybe on the clarity back or probably maybe on other sentiment that probably the mainstream media will drive back the traffic for the retail to buy in. And then next, talk about AI agent. Like we're using like Claude, ChatGPT, Codex, Claude, or whichever. Okay. All right. So if you've been using AI agent to use your crypto wallet for payments, for transacting, for farming, for running liquidity, I think there are a lot of new rules and of course rigidity as well that you should be taking care of or taking note. Okay. So first thing, right, payments. First thing is very important, right? So you want to make sure that you use a burner wallet and you are prepared to risk. So you don't want to put all your funds into there. You put a certain limited funds that you are planning to spend. Okay. So AI agents, they have already have the kind of exposure through wallets, exchanges, payment apps, trading system, so many in crypto Web3. So I think all those apps like Coinbase, other decentralized finance like tools are already engaging all those AI agents like MCP, connecting your MCP like Claude, ChatGPT Codex to actually engage your agents to connect with all those smart contracts. And of course, your wallet as well, like your MetaMask, to do all the automation or whichever you call it. Okay, so yeah, payment comes first. Okay, so payment sees Adrian sees payment as the earliest major use case for AI engine. Okay, since payment windows can be narrowed by amount received, asset type and time. Okay, so yeah, most important thing is payment. And already it's all about money. Okay, so cross-border payments are especially compelling given the friction in legacy banking and the demonstrated efficiency of stablecoins. Okay, so this is a huge deal. So where are we now is because of AI revolution. Everything is moving towards the automation. Okay, instead of you doing all the hard or heavy lifting, okay, you let the AI agent do for you, do all the necessary by you instructing them, setting a certain instructions so that they don't go overboard. Okay, so even trading and portfolio management are technically mature enough today. So adding the harder challenge is whether authorization frameworks and loss limits are sophisticated enough to keep the agent mandate from drifting beyond what user. See here? Okay, keeping an agent's mandate from drifting beyond what the user. So like I said, end of the day is how do you want to instruct? What is the instruction that you want to send to the AI agent for the agent to execute on the trading itself, or whatever payment, cross payment, or whatever liquidity, the staking, all these you need to inform, right? So by just telling them by white coding, that's what they call this term called white coding, just informing the AI like through chatting. Okay. So wallet approvals need transaction by transaction controls. Yeah, this is actually very common because there are a lot of pop-ups will be coming up once they transact. Okay, there are a lot of approval that it needs to approve and requires gas fees as well. So the approval question is where policy and product design must converge. It's where the industry has the most work there to do. So strong approval model gives agent limited authority for routine actions while requiring human review for withdrawals. There you go. So these are the things that is stopping, hard gate stop for the agents to actually go through all this. That's where it will prompt. That's where it will pop up the box for people like us to actually confirm yes or no. Do you want to continue this course of action? If yes, proceed. Click OK, not cancel. So this is the thing to actually prevent from being drained, or probably the AI agent maybe must have done something, not that it's not supposed to do. So you might want to prevent that. And then fund access should go in stages. So AI agent can unlock automation, but capital access should always progressive. Okay, so process as a gradual path from observation to assistance execution. So how does it work? The agent first monitors and recommends. This is the first course of action. They will look first, they will assess, and then they will tell you what to do or give you guidance. Then prepares action for approval. Later receive limited execution rights and eventually handles a larger mandate after reliable performance. So which means once the bot or the agent have run through several rounds that have already been proven, then only you can able to reward your agent a larger job scope or larger tasks to continue or to even to be more productive, to be 10 times or 100 times more productive after the first or 2 rounds of doing it. So that's the thing. So permission controls comes next, right? Users should separate permissions for monitoring, trading, balance, and monitoring. So important is the control. How do you want to set the control, right? Do you want to set the maximum, or do you want to set a certain limit for the bot to actually do all this? Okay, so there are a lot like on-chain volume. See, once you get the hang out of it, especially with the AI or the AI agent, whether you use ChatGPT, Claude, or whichever platform, right? You can do so many things by just telling the AI your idea. What do you want to do? How do you want to execute it? And then they will do all the heavy lifting. Okay, so yeah, but I haven't really touched on the wallet yet, but in terms of other aspects like the WhatsApp, emails, okay, scheduling and editing the YouTube video, that's where I've already given the AI agent to really help me to do all those. Okay, so most of them are really automated. Okay, so you have to also adapt with the current situation. And then, of course, right, the Clarity Act, yet again, you can see that is going to be late or pushed over postponed, okay? A delay yet again, you can see here. All right. So lawmakers are expected to address a major crypto market structure bill after the return from a month-long recess. Okay. What's happening here? Okay, so many leaders or industry leaders are frustrated and disappointed at lawmakers' failure to act before the US vote. Okay, they're supposed to approve before they even go for the break, right? So now they are postponing again. Okay, all right. And even Cynthia Lewis also stated this, right? How long and hard you fought for this bill, so you can imagine how frustrated. There'll be a time I can say more, but from now, let me say this will come too far to pick now, right? So yeah, I think they will keep on fighting for this bill to pass. But I think most likely they're going to approve it next year. That's where it will align with the bull run as well. Okay. And of course, Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, also expressed dissatisfaction or disappointing, right, on the action. Okay, that they are going to postpone again. So I think the midterm election is coming very, very soon. And with the midterm election won by the Democratic Party, I think this will cause a huge blow for the chance to even to give them even a chance to pass this bill. So even this prediction market, okay, will there be any chance for the Clarity Act to get passed on next year? So if we look at the Kalshi, right? Event contract with 1.23 million region, it uses an 88% chance, okay, the Senate voting on the legislation before October 1st. While a similar one on poly market gave a 26% chance of the deal being signed into the law this year. So my take is this, I don't think they will do this year. I think, I'm not sure, because maybe Trump might pressure. If any chance, probably Trump might pressure those people in there to get it passed before the midterm election. That could be one scenario. If nothing happens in Poseidon, then I think it's going to move on in 2027. Okay. So Trump has to do something. Trump has to sound them or make noise against pressure, that's for sure, in his style. So if that's the case, if it's really leaning towards that, the Clarity Act, then I think there could be a high chance of approval on October 1st, before October 1st. If not, then next year. Okay, then moving on next with the sentiment on chain. All right, so we can see now. So in order to identify the crypto market bottom signal, there are so many ways to identify. First thing is a DAX on the moon. Okay, no basis trade anymore on CME. And then we talk about minor calculation as well. The difficulty is currently down 18.5%. One of the biggest since 2021 China debt. Okay, and then the next one is Michael Saylor already sold his STRC, right? BDC, sold his BDC. Okay, and then to make sure that the STRC, okay, is well maintained, or is currently depegging quite badly. He's trying to maintain back to the price back that off, but until now, I don't think it's coming back up. It's now recovering. And then spending time below the 200-week moving average, okay, when 17% below previous all-time high, check. RSI oversold on weekly and mid higher low now. Yeah, that's the one. Now, what is missing here is final big volume calculation event, like you see on FTX, Celsius, okay, now. And then, of course, Terra Luna, right? So until now, we are still yet to see. Should we witness another one? Maybe. And the only thing I can think of is Michael Saylor's opening the song, because I don't see any others besides the Cold Card Hat wallet, okay, or probably other incident. And then visiting the realized price at around 54K. Probably we are close. Like I said, also very close. But I'm still sitting on the sidelines, already preparing the dry powder to strategize my ECA strategy for October itself. Okay, so you have to plan, and you have to take note how are you going to plan and strategize for this run as well. And then moving on. So Bitcoin has historically found its cycle bottom, roughly about 700 days after breaking its all-time high. So if you look at the break right, March 5, okay, where is it here? break in March 5. This one. Okay, so March 5, 700 days later pointed to a bottom around 60K. Okay, around 60K. And then but BTC later fell back to 57. Okay, so I don't consider that a true breakout. And then another scenario, which is the break-in. 6th of November, 700 days later, take us to October 5th. Okay, so this is the price expectation here. Okay, so 700 days later, take us to October 5th. Okay, so that will be the price here for October, isn't it? October 5th. That will be around 40K. So that's roughly where I expect this bear market to bottom, with the 40K area, still my base case. Then Bitcoin has tracked the cycle remarkably well. So let's see. Yeah, I think a lot of people are really expecting the final blow down. Okay, but again, the market can really surprise people. That's the only thing now. Should the market maintain sideways from here, and then on October it pumps? That's the only scenario where the market tends to do the opposite, where everyone expects one more last drop, right? One more last capitulation, but the market pump, and then maybe it hits above 75. And then it slowly starts to reverse back. So that could be another opposite scenario, that caught people by surprise. So that could be the case there. Okay, so let's see. And then talking about the 2022 bear market, so the participation strengthened while BTC consolidated, building an on-chain foundation. And then what happened is that FTX collapse interrupted that process, but the foundation survived and supported the 2023 recovery. Then crypto bottoms begin internally before they become visible. So look here. Now this is the one, FTX collapse. Okay, 2022, end of 2022, price down. And then you look at the network growth from liquidity as well, also down. And then fundamental index also down. Okay, and then probably that's where you see the market tends to go. Yeah. So, like I said, where will we find the next capitulation event? Or should we really expecting this to happen? So that will be another thing to take note. Okay, and then moving on next with Airdrops. So if you are doing depots, I mean, Airdrop currently now is live. Okay, currently now is live. And now what you can see here, okay, you've been doing, then maybe you might want to check and you might want to claim. So bear market like this don't have any high expectation to make life-changing drop, because we're going to be very stingy and frugal about their distribution here, or even lock 100%. And then Soltis 5, Season 2, registration is now live. You might want to check the application and then register. And then you're going to go for the 6 or 9 months vesting. So that's the set case here of late Airdrops. Okay, 9-month vesting is a default. 6-month club is available for your Season 2 total value lock. So this is really, really, really bad. You want people to cling on. You don't want people to dump the coin. So it's absolutely pointless. Okay, they have lack of conviction to even run the project. And then what's more, rewarding users of this. Anyway, moving on to CoinMarketCap, you can see BTC at 63.7, Ethereum is at 1.9, and then you can look here. Okay, all right, USDC. Okay, the USDC, $1. And then Solana 75. You look at the gainers for today, you can see Olera beat 11%, Virtuals 4%, Jito 3.86, Curve down 3%. The last 7 days, 35%. The new protocol 2.73, Pi network 1.93. Then we can see Hyperliquid now it's still at 5. Okay, so that's the thing that we can be able to look into. Okay. And then, yeah, we're moving on next. Talk about the technical side. So technical side, what do we have here? Okay, what do we have here on the technical side? Okay, and then we're going to see here. Already the price is downtrend on dominance. Okay, so it's still down below the middle band. Okay, and rejecting at the sell zone as well. So will this dominance remain sideways? Probably yes. Again, it may remain sideways. And then we look at the weekly also, it's still sideways rejected. Probably it might come back down again. You might want to see around this level here, 58. Look at daily, broke down as well. Below the middle band. So that means, I think we look at alts now. Now alts, Ethereum, that means Bitcoin now slowly starting to break up. So now the only question is, will it continue to break higher? Close above middle band, then continue to rally past the top here, 0.396. Then we look at the weekly time frame, right? Descending break, confirmation, consolidation, and then we're going to look into this top here at 0.03163. Look at daily. So a daily time frame, okay, you can see a nice W pattern form, down, descending. Now another double bottom here as well. See, okay, double bottom, then the next one, top DB here, 0.03403 for even this. Look at dominance for USDT. Where is dominance now? Is it up or down? So now it's creating what? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows again. Okay. And then you're going to see this level here. 8.78. Like 8.78. And this level here. 8.05. Okay, 8.05. Okay. And then we look on to the weekly time frame. Okay. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Consolidation sideways. Sending. And then we look on to the daily time frame also. See. Okay. Palm consolidating sideways. Okay. So waiting for the next break for USDT dominance. Okay. And then you're going to see what's happening now with BTC, 63.7. Look at the monthly time frame. Okay. Price already broke down, now slowly starting to come back up. The next resistance here, so it's 6.7. The support will be here, at 58.5. Then we look on to the weekly time frame. What do we see on weekly? Okay, price break, pull back for the re-entry sell, still getting rejected here. So like I said, the more it gets rejected, the more it's going to go down. So I'm going to see whether can it able to continue to break up, which is the middle band here at around 69.1. If not, we are going to reset this critical support here at 59.3. So which one is it going to be gone? And then on daily, broke below the middle band, slowly coming back up again. Let's see. So far for now, it's downtrend. Look at H4. Momentum sell, pull back for the retreat sell, break down again. Pull back for the retreat sell, break down again. You see how many times getting rejected on the middle band? 1 and 2. 64.3. Right, the rejection is there. Okay, then we look at ETH. 1894. And then we look at the money time frame. Your support now is here, 1547. And then this level here. This level at 2059. Here, 2059. Okay. All right. And then we're going to look into this level here as well, 2278. And then we look into the weekly time frame. What do we see on the weekly time frame? Down consolidation, similar like EDC. Still getting rejected at the middle, below the middle band. So should we see a break above here? The break above most likely 2K, 1987. Then 1987 broke, then we're going to go into this resistance at 2392. And then we look at the daily time frame. What do we see? Consolidation, price looking very big to break up. Price closing inside again. So expectation quite high to go down, if against USD. Okay, then let's move on next with the alts. Okay, so we have a lot of alts here that we need to do. So we got CRB. So what's happening now with this coin? 27 cents. But it is already down how many percent? 90%, even from here. $6.85. Now it's what? 27. Look at that. It's 95% down. So this type of movement is pointless, isn't it? Now it's coming back up again. The absolute low is how much? 18 cents. So how is it going to survive? Okay. It's one level break. So the next level is your top EV here. This level here, 40 cents. Okay. Right. 40 cents. And then, okay, so we can see here, consolidation break. And then we're going to look into the daily time frame also. Consolidation break as well, momentum buy. So the pullback probably will be here at around 25 cents. Okay, and look at H4. I can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Now creating a higher low. So H4 probably is going to give you back around stuff here. Should. Okay. Is you back around this level here. 26 or probably around this level, 26.7 cents for curve down. Okay, so short-term uptrend, but major time frame is downtrend. So it's really pointless. Okay. So even if you buy now, it's not going to do a V-shape. Short-term only this reversal. And then what else? There are a lot. Jito. Okay. So what's happening here? So we have the M pattern dump, consolidation break. This one we can see already broke, right? So this level will be next, 1.22. And then your critical supports. So this will be about what, 26 cents, right? And then we look onto the weekly time frame. What do we see? Farm pullback, now slowly rejecting at the sell zone. See, 59 cents. And then, yeah, 59 cents. And then we look onto the daily time frame. What do we see? Price break up above the middle band, candlestick change of direction from sell to buy. So Jito now, short term, is looking set to break higher. So we're going to look at 53 cents to maintain that as a level of support. And then on H4, price looking set to be exhausted. So we're going to see whether can it able to break past this final boss resistance, 6 cents. Not probably we're going to lose out or probably dip back down again to where it left off. Okay? So we've got Jito is done. We've got curve is done. What else? Okay. Look at Worldcoin. Okay, so we got the monthly time frame. So Worldcoin, 33 cents, still at the extreme bottom. So low was at 22 cents. Okay. And then we look at the weekly time frame. And we can see down descending, break, not down descending again. So we're going to see whether can we able to find a bottom for Worldcoin. We can able to find that will be a good news. So now the middle band will be here 34 cents. You break higher, you want to look into the top division. Okay. Right? And look at daily. Price also break towards the upside. Pullback. So the pullback confirmation, the middle band. 32 cents. Now look at H4. Higher highs, high lows, high highs, high lows. Consolidation sideways. Okay. So currently the setup is actually downtrend. Okay. So most of it are actually down, but short-term pump. And then last one, Bitcoin Satoshi region, ESV. It's the one, Satoshi region. Yeah, also down, extreme low. The all-time high is how much? Wow, $500. 500. And it's now trading at 14.4, 96, 97%. No doubt. So you can see what is the aftermath of this altcoins. Next level, $24. Should we see weekly to rebound? Maybe yes. Price descending, slowly broke up above the middle band. So we know there could be a slight recovery and probably maybe to push back at this top maybe at least at around 74. We look at the daily time frame. Okay, with a nice momentum pullback, should we see continuation and probably to break above this level first around 14.74. And then on H4, what do we see? Down descending sideways. Should we see this level of support to maintain? If not, then I think we will probably continue to head down. Okay, and then probably to test all these lows here. All right, the 13.6 leading up to the middle band. Looking on to the S&P, the S&P now slowly starting to climb. It's a red candle today. Nasdaq also showing red. Okay, Dow Jones also red. All right, so that's all I have for tonight, guys.